All right, York. So Barnwell's got the Bears ranked 25th going into this year. Wide receivers, tight ends, running backs. Last year he had them at 6th. He writes, well, my 2024 rankings didn't go well. No. Bears got disappointing performances from just about every one of their skill position players, with vets DJ Moore and Keenan Allen looking as if they were running underwater or wishing they were in a scheme that didn't play to either strengths. Rookie first rounder Rome Odunze simply wasn't throwing many catchable balls, as his 58.9% expected catch rate was the league's 6th lowest for receivers with at least 100 targets. He managed only a 54% catch rate, which suggests he wasn't an entirely innocent party in that equation. Yeah, those aren't great numbers. We'll get to that more on that in a minute. The arrival of new coach Ben Johnson suggests the offense will be put in much better position to succeed. And indeed, it will hardly be a shock if the Bears go from one of the league's worst schemes to one of the best. Some labs for Odunze to separate and run away from defenders would be helpful. Johnson needs to light a spark under Moore, who appeared to grow numb amid his 7th consecutive losing season. Johnson also needs to find ways to create yards after catch opportunities for rookie second-rounder Luther Burden III, who will take over Allen's role in the lineup. Johnson excelled in finding ways to maximize the talents of his running backs and tight ends in Detroit. And that might be, let's see, I'm going to skip over a part here. We don't need all that. DeAndre Swift averaged 5.5 yards per carry in 2022, his lone season with Johnson as offensive coordinator, although it was also simultaneously clear the Lions didn't trust him as their top back. Can jack of all trades, Roshan Johnson or Buzzy 7th-round pick Kyle Monangai push Swift for Chicago's primary backup role? And if the new coach leans into 12 personnel, Colston Loveland can turn into his Sam Laporta and torment linebackers up the seam. So, all right, few things to kind of go over there. First of all, how to get Rome Odunze more involved or just more catchable balls and hopefully a little bit. I mean, just in general, I want Rome to be a bigger part of the offense. Like, ideally, wouldn't it be nice if we got to the end of the year? No disrespect to DJ Moore whatsoever, but like if we looked at it and said, hey, Rome's their best receiver. Could we potentially get there by the end of 2025? And could he have the kind of season that makes us go, Rome Odunze was the right pick, was a great pick, and is going to be a great player, and he's their best receiver?
Well, Ben Johnson's the guy that's going to have to do that. Remember how they do it in Detroit. St. Brown gets all the catches. The other guy that they had there.
Jameson, you thinking of?
Yeah, he had the yards. As far as yards per catch, he was up there.
Yeah.
Whereas St. Brown was at about 11.5 yards per catch with a lot of catches. The other guy had about 16 yards per catch. And then Laporta was the other guy that gave you a ton of balls and a ton of catches, and then Jahmyr Gibbs. Mm-hmm. So, you know, that was your distribution pattern in Detroit. So that's probably what it's going to look like here. It'll be 2 receivers, one getting a lot of the throws with the low average, with the 11.5, 11.6
And you're right
average.
on. Amon-Ra was at 11 last year.
Right.
He had 115 catches.
Ton of catches. And the other guy?
Jameson had 17 yards per catch.
17 yards
1,000
per
yards,
catch.
58 catches.
Right. 58 catches. Then he did it. He got his 1,000 yards, but he had a lot less catches. Laporta was your other guy with a ton of catches.
Laporta had 60 catches.
And Jahmyr Gibbs?
Gibbs had 52 catches.
There you go. So that's your distribution. That's your offense. That's what you're looking here. Those are your completions. So how are they going to be distributed throughout this team? Is DJ Moore the guy that's going to be catching 100 and some balls, or will it be Rome Odunze catching 100 some odd balls?
I could see it maybe being DJ, but Rome has the much bigger, impactful, like, yards per catch, yards per target, yards per route run numbers, maybe.
If I put the new tight end in there and I gave you an over-under of 42 catches for your tight end,
I'd say over.
You'd say over. How many you got for Cole Kmet then?
I mean, geez, it's hard to think that he'd have a few. What did he have, like 47 catches last year?
If I put the over-under at 42 or 40 catches, where's the over-under for Cole Kmet?
Could they have like 90 catches between them?
I gave you an over-under at 40. And
I'd say over. I'd say over on both.
So you got both guys going over.
I don't love it, but I'd say over. I'm pot committed now. You stumped me, or he tricked me. You got me on the Loveland. I maybe jumped the gun.
If your running back's going to get 60 balls, then right. Your running backs, I should say.
Your running
combination
backs.
of your running backs get 60 balls.
I mean, now I'm at what 140, 150 catches amongst
Yeah.
2 position groups, and we haven't even.
40, 60, yeah. And you got 300 more, not 300 more, you got 200 more completions, 250 more completions to be divvied between 3 wide receivers.
I guess that's doable.
And which 3 wide receivers are going to be getting that, and what's the percentage going where? What I'm saying is, and I broke this down before I went to Scotland, is you've got to be realistic. Who's going to get the chances and the opportunities? Is the kid from Missouri going to get his chance? Is he going to be
If he signs.
over under catches? Hey, over under catches for him 24.
I probably would have to, just by the way I was so bullish on the tight ends, I'd have to say under, I guess.
24 catches for your third wide receiver.
I mean,
but you're right.
You get to 30. I bet you could get to 30.
At some point.
But at some point, it runs out.
Yeah, at some point, you're running out of completions.
If you set that number at 30, 30 and a half, I'd say under. Let's put it that way. Now, some people might hear that and go, you're crazy. Maybe. I mean, I don't know. Maybe he's – I don't – but at some point, to what Yurko's getting at here, like, you do run out.
You run out of completions.
Set Luther Burden's completion total at 30 and a half, I would say under. 24 seems like an over, but I would say under 30 and a half.
Well, and the way they run their offense, I think they like to have one featured receiver with everybody complimenting everybody.
Yeah. So who's that going to be, DJ or Rome?
Right. That's your question you're going to be. Or is this a team that could maybe divvy it up 75, 70, 65?
This is
80, 70, 65, that kind of way.
Yeah.
That's 215 right there.
Right.
Could you do it that way?